Black Adam the movie. What did I think of it? Let's get right off the bat. There's probably going to be a couple little spoilers in this. Too long didn't read version. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I recommend go and watch it if you can. Thoroughly enjoyable movie. I don't know what all the Access Media critics are about. In fact, I found it really odd that in our local news, there was actually an article. Out of all the movies coming out, there was an article prominently displayed in the entertainment section on the webpage saying basically how dull and boring the movie is. You shouldn't see it. The Rock's charisma's not there. He might have done well in other movies. He should stick to other movies. And I just thought, hang on a second. The Rock plays The Rock in every movie he's been in. And now you're kind of telling me he's playing something, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit odd. And it reminded me of years ago in our major daily newspaper. We had a major cinema chain. And every movie that was at that cinema chain that was critiqued in the paper was 4 stars, 5 stars, go see it, top stuff. Every movie that was at any of the competing cinema chains or independents or whatever was lucky if you got a 3.5 stars out of 5. And that was very noticeable to me. So that told me that the major cinema chain that was getting all the praise was the ones that also had the biggest advertising, the most advertising and things like that. So really couldn't believe the critics. So when I saw the critics on this one in my paper, and then I saw some of the hate that was coming out online for the movie, I thought, there's something going on in this movie. What is it in this movie that the critics don't like? And after having seen the movie, I can say comfortably that the critics are not reviewing the movie. What they're reviewing is the movie's pushing of agendas or whatever. In other words, if the movie is not pushing any specific agendas, then the critics don't like the movie. If the movie is pushing against the silliness that we've got going on in the world today, then the critics don't like the movie. And I think that's what they're reviewing. They're not reviewing the actual movie for entertainment value. They're reviewing whether or not the movie has the, let's just call them the woke talking points or the weirdo lefty pushing agenda, progressive agenda stuff being pushed in the movie. I think that's really what critics review these days instead of the entertainment value of the movie. Okay. So getting to the movie, yes, we had exposition at the start. I didn't mind it. We've had it in plenty of other movies. While there's scenery going on, we get a little bit of vocal exposition. In fact, there's many YouTubers who I enjoy who do vocal expositions while they basically have a slideshow going in the background. And that works for me. I find that entertaining. Whatever. A little bit of vocal exposition over the top of images that match what we're seeing, that works. Caught me up to speed, so that was great. Threw a little bit of a twist in that I didn't see coming. Even though I've seen the trailers, I still didn't fully get what was going on. In fact, the trailer made me think what was actually wrong, because I'd seen in the trailer where he says his son sacrificed himself for him, or he saw his son die, or some weird thing like that. But then you see how what originally happened, and that sort of threw me for a little bit of a 6, because in the original Shazam movie you've got the little kid that becomes Shazam, and I thought, oh, is that what we've got here? So I kind of lost it, but then that was rectified in the end, and I was like, that was very, very clever, very well done. Okay. The thing that I found a little bit sort of odd was the Justice Society's hatred for him straight off the bat. It didn't matter whether they thought they had evidence of him doing something 5,000 years ago. It was just straight off the bat. Didn't even want to talk to him. It was just straight on. Let's just go aggro on this guy what do you think's going to happen if you're just walking down the street minding your own business, even if you're a really bad person, and someone just out of the blues just starts coming and being hostile on you? You're just going to fight back, even from a defensive point. You will do that. So I kind of felt that was a little bit out of sync. How about just talking to the man first? How about just saying, hey, listen, let's just have a chat before you go into full-on combat mode. But going into full-on combat mode gave us a lot of visual entertainment. So that was great. Look, a hero who says he's not a hero, fantastic. I love it. A hero who says, I can do what you are not willing to do or you're not able to do, which is kick the bad person's ass. I love it. Encouraging the people to stand up for themselves. I love it. Encouraging people to want freedom. I love it. The fact that he saved the woman right at the start, and she even said that to him. Remember, you saved me. So, you know, you're not all bad because you saved me. I love it because it's not that I'm a strong, independent woman that don't need no man for nothing. She's asked him for help. So maybe that's why the critics didn't like it. I don't know why the critics didn't like it, except for what I said. They're reviewing for agenda points and not entertainment value. Thoroughly entertaining movie. And I would definitely say, yeah, go to the cinema and watch the movie. And, okay, so we come to the end. And I'm going to jump to the end. It's not really a spoiler, but it kind of is a spoiler. Because it's the, let's slot this little bit in the credit scene spoiler. That's what I'm going to talk about. And if you've seen other reviews and other reactions, you've probably already know this. Henry Cavill as Superman. But the Waller is talking to him through hologram, basically says, you know, you just better keep your cool, buddy. And, you know, if you don't, we'll send someone. And he's like, you can't defeat me. And of course, they won't be able to defeat him. Oh, well, you know, no one on this planet can beat me. And she says, well, we've got people from another planet. And he says, send them all. And of course, Superman turns up. Now, what was the reaction in the cinema? Cheers. So if you want to know, if the movie makers want to know if they're onto the right track, it's when they drop something in the movie and the people in the cinema cheer. Henry Cavill, Superman, makes an appearance, the people cheer. It was just a spontaneous thing. It brought a smile to my face. There's a few times I brought a smile to my face. A few times I had a chuckle. It might not have been full of wacky Jumanji kind of humour from The Rock, but there were elements in it that I really did quite like. And I got a sort of, damn straight. He's like, is that sarcasm? Yes, that's sarcasm. Well, actually, no, it was more of a lie. Well, who cares? It was funny. So, yeah, I'm not going to tell you what the lines were, but look, it's not a Shakespearean theatre production. So the acting isn't the best. There's corny stuff. There's things like you would always see in any type of movie like this, where you're going to focus on like one street. Well, what's going on in the rest of the city? Are they joining in the mayhem, or are they just chilled back watching TV, or what's going on? So there are a few things like that, but only if you know what when you look for it in movies do you start to see some of those little sort of quirky things. But otherwise, hey, it was all good. A thoroughly entertaining movie. I don't know how long it was. I think it was probably close to 2 hours. But yeah, it didn't feel like 2 hours at all. There wasn't a single time I looked at my watch. Again, that's a really awesome sign. Just sat there fully engrossed, couldn't wait for the next encounter. That's what I was hoping for. When's the next encounter? Is it just going to be talking? Is it going to be action? Is it going to be, what sort of plot twist is there going to be? All those sorts of little things. And there were some plot twists. And so, yeah. So my too long didn't read version, too long didn't watch version is, if you get a chance, go and watch it. Hey, if you can't watch it in the cinema, wait for it to come out on some other way to watch it. But do yourself a favor and go watch this movie, because it's a whole bunch of fun and a good way to spend a couple of hours.